Hi, my name is Talya Ring, and I designed together with my husband a proprietary style of yoga called Turbo Dog Yoga, which is specifically for people who are 35 and older, who are aging, right? Our bodies are getting older, but we're active and we want to stay active. We want to stay strong and we want to stay injury free as we continue to do all the things in our life that we love to do. And so my yoga does things a little bit differently than traditional yogas. And today I want to talk to you specifically about how I do downward dog because I've I've designed it in a way to recruit specific structural muscles that will support both the releasing of the neck and the strengthening of the shoulders so they can retain their full range of motion, but also because they're structurally supported, they don't get injured. So let me first talk about how traditional yoga does downward dog, right? And I think most of you know this, but a traditional downward dog would look like this with the hands facing forward, shoulder width, the arms are straight, and then it looks kind of like that. So I want you to look at the shoulders and how they're hunched up around the neck, right? And how most of the pose is actually, when you do it, you feel it up around here, okay? This area here, when it gets tight and overused, that helps contribute to neck pain and tightness. It also helps contribute to like rotator cuff injuries and things like that, which become really, really common in people as they get older. So now let me show you how I do downward dog. So you start by placing your thumbs at the edges of the mat, right? So already the hands are wider than shoulder width. And instead of facing forward, the fingers turn out. The hands turn out just about 45 degrees. And now look at the elbows. You bend them. It's almost like you're going to set your forearms on the floor. So for sometimes when I teach this, I have people start with the forearms down here, but look at the elbows. The elbows aren't wide like that. The elbows come in almost like you're grabbing a big beach ball with them. And now from here, you lift up just about an inch or two. All right, so I'm going to bring my head neutral so my neck can be relaxed. And I want you to look at my shoulders. I'm going to turn a little bit so you can look. So up here, there's a bone called the shoulder blade. And a lot of times, because we are so accustomed to using the upper trapezius here, those are up here, right? This bone comes up towards the ears. So instead, what you do is look at the shoulders, pull down away from the ears. So you're moving them down in the direction of your waist. And if you can see, when I do that, this starts to turn on me. That's what you're feeling for. This is called serratus anterior. It's a big fan-like muscle that comes around the ribs, and it's an incredible supporting muscle for the shoulders. So you pull the shoulders back away from the ears, right? And then you're squeezing the elbows in towards each other. And the final move it's called unlocking the shoulders. So again, sorry, I'm going to turn again. What you're doing is you're sending this arm bone down towards the floor, but without moving your chest. So this bone moves down away from the shoulder. So let's do that, right? So you've got the thumbs at the edges of the mat, the hands wide and turned out. Squeeze the elbows in, pull the shoulders down your back so they'll go away from your ears, and now reach the upper arm bones down, really squeezing that beach ball. So if you're new to this, and this is tricky, you would do this with your knees down until you get all this really engaged. And then once you've got that in your muscle memory and you know how to do that, then you come up and you work it with your legs straight. Neck relaxed, just the shoulders and arms. Serratus anterior Those are the things that are working really strong in your downward dog here. So now look at the area of the shoulders and neck, how much room there is around the neck, right? And where you're feeling this pose now is here. That's where you should be feeling it, not here. And what that does is it allows the neck muscles to completely relax, and it strengthens those structural muscles that give the shoulder lots of support and retain its mobility and prevent it from getting injured. And so I suggest you try it and see how it feels on your body, right? It's going to be intense when you first do it because you're going to be calling on muscles that you're not used to using. So you start with your knees down, and then as you build your strength, then you start to work it with your legs straight, your knees up off the floor. All right, so that's just one of the examples of many variations that I do for poses to adapt them so that they're physiologically sound to support us, to keep us strong as our bodies are getting older, because strength is a really important piece to flexibility and to staying active. So if you want to practice with me regularly, you can click on the link below, and then you can join me. I do weekly recorded classes that you can subscribe to. All right, I will see you again next time, really soon.